What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Impel Forward Podcast. I'm your host, Leon, and this is my host, Rene.
Whoop whoop.
Got to give it to him. What's going on, girl?
Oh, how's your day?
Oh, it's been good. I just did a little running around with the church.
Mm-hmm.
And did a little running around.
Yeah. Wait, what you wear to church? What was so urgent?
I wore this purple shirt right here that I have on.
Was that today's colors?
Yeah, today's colors. Purple.
Okay. So you was at the mall at South Point and you came out with a lavender t-shirt.
Yeah, that's not that was the colors. So I had to go get one. Hey.
So what was you calling me for if you knew you was gonna wear a lavender t-shirt?
Because I hate shopping. And I knew you probably was out somewhere.
Crazy. I was at the mall. I don't even know how I didn't get your call. That's so weird. I don't know. You need
Verizon. Who you got?
T-Mobile. Is it T-Mobile?
Sprint. That's why you didn't get my call.
Probably. Where'd you go? H&M? Because I went to H&M.
First, I went to Nordstrom Rack.
Yeah.
Then they didn't have anything I liked.
Mm-hmm.
So then I went to my favorite store, which I should have did in the beginning.
What, Express?
Express.
How do I know this?
Yeah.
How did I know this?
That's my go-to.
Of course they got a pastel shirt for you to wear at Express.
Yeah, of course. But I hate shopping. But my Dorcia on that last episode, we give Dorcia.
Shout out to Dorcia. I need to call her.
Yeah, she put something in my head. So
what'd she say?
So I used to like to shop and dress.
Yeah.
I had a thing where every weekend I would go buy something new to build up my wardrobe.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I just got out of that.
Really?
I used to build up my wardrobe. Yeah. I used to build up my wardrobe.
But I always tell my friends, stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready.
Huh?
I tell my friends, stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready. I got formal wear. I got going out wear. I got just chilling wear. Whatever the vibe is, I got something for it in my closet. And I shop off season as well.
Yeah.
So like right now, it's hot or whatever. All of the cute trench coats and all the things you wanted when it was cold outside, but they weren't on sale, all went out on clearance. So I get my trench coats and all of that.
Yeah, and that's
then when it's cold, I'm gonna get my summer dresses and cute summer clothes. And I mean, trends are cool, but I wear what I want to wear.
Right. Yeah. Where'd you want to wear?
But if you stay ready, you wouldn't be at the mall trying to find a lavender t-shirt.
You are correct. Like I said, I hate shopping.
Right.
So what I need, I told myself what I'm going to start back doing, my old routine, and this from like years ago. Go every weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 or 2 pieces. Throw it in the car.
That's crazy.
What? What you mean crazy? What? What's ludicrous?
Just get what did Steve Harvey say? You should have 2 suits, right?
Yeah.
I heard 3 suits and wear 15 different ways. What was that?
I seen that mess. Yeah. I'm gonna get me some more suits. I'm gonna go ahead and get me some suits too. So,
but y'all don't really wear a lot of suits at church.
I'm just gonna start throwing on some clothes. That's all.
I like it. You gonna cut hair with a suit on?
No, I ain't gonna do all that. It's too hot for that.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, listen.
Oh, wait a minute. I was supposed to start off by letting the people know.
What?
I got to keep letting people know this right here. Impel, the brand Impel. Impel means to take action, drive, force, or urge someone to do something. I got to keep letting people know because people always ask me. And the thing behind Impel is to inspire people to take action. Yeah.
So you probably just have to pin, the definition on the bottom.
No, I'm just gonna keep saying it because I like to talk and explain it to people.
That's amazing too. Some people are visual though.
Well,
they like to read it.
I'm gonna be their visual.
Okay.
Impel, take action.
Take action.
And so, and that's the reason I started the whole Impel brand, Impel Forward Podcast, Impel Forward merch. Just inspire people to take action. The reason I started,
I like how it flows. Everything flows. Like that's a great name for everything. It doesn't just you didn't leave yourself stagnant to just Impel Forward, or Impel merch, right? Impel Forward, just merch. Like, you can use it for everything. Everything. It's not like Impel Forward, eyelashes, right? Where you got it's just eyelashes. You can't move anywhere. It doesn't make sense. Like, you can't put Impel Forward eyelashes on a shirt and just sell merch. You get what I mean? So you made it so that you can expand your brand, which is amazing.
And like the barbershop, Impel Barber Studio. So Impel, when you walk in, you're looking at books. It's gonna make you take some action to do better, be better, grow.
Yeah.
And so
why is it just Impel and not Impel Forward?
The barbershop? No. But listen, I want to show the people here. I got something. I didn't plan on doing this, but I'm gonna do. Well, I got the banner back there, but I want to show the hat. I might as well show the hat too. So,
which is that a new color? Oh, it's bigger. The
Yeah, it ain't. It's different. This ain't. This one of more. It ain't new, but anyway. So, for the people who if y'all can see, the opening right here. So this is the W inside the word forward. And it's an arrow pointing forward, if you can see it. Now the opening right here, the opening. That means as long as we are alive, the door is still open. The door is not closed. The window is still up, still cracked. It's still open. We have time to grow. We still have time to grow until we expire. So that's the whole thing behind Impel Forward.
That's very creative. How'd you come up with that design?
Well, I had somebody came up with it for my what you call it? The help me out here. I can't remember.
A designer?
Graphic designer. Yeah, graphic designer. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You just told them, you gave them the vision or the definition, and
no,
they worked on that. How do you do that?
The definition, we kind of collaborated on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and he came up with the logo.
Who came up with the colors?
Which colors? The blue?
Yeah.
That was me.
Of course.
Oh yeah, I like blue. So my favorite color, blue.
But it's a specific blue, right?
If you want to say, I don't know. Dark blue.
You don't like a light blue?
No, I don't like no light blue. Dark blue. Dark blue, yeah. Blue Nation. Duke Blue Devil.
I mean,
yeah. But yeah, that's the whole thing with the Impel Forward. That's what Impel means. So those of you who don't know, so I started a podcast, well, not a podcast, a YouTube channel actually in 2015.
Really?
Yeah, but I didn't do anything with it. So that's one of those things where I didn't take action.
I'm telling you, you should do a TikTok.
So look, I don't do no TikTok, but look, listen, that's where I didn't take action. I did, but I didn't take action.
Right.
So a lot of times we have all these goals, dreams, aspirations. We don't move forward. We stay stagnant.
Yeah.
A lot of times we have setbacks. We all have setbacks. Some of them a little worse than others. But we can't stay put. Can't stay put.
I feel that. I like that.
Yeah, can't stay put. Now, moving on. Being that I've expressed or told the people my brand message.
Yeah.
Or the message behind my brand. Or why Impel is my brand. Let's talk about some other brands.
Okay.
That people love.
Yes.
People buy. Do we really know the message behind the brands that we support? Do we really?
I don't want to necessarily say we don't know, because I've been to the Louis Vuitton exhibits and the Dior exhibits and many different brand exhibits, right? A lot of them under the LVMH brand, which is, Louis Vuitton is part of Hennessy and all of that, right? Did you know Hennessy was a brand under Hennessy Cognac is under that whole brand as well, with Louis Vuitton, Dior, Fendi, all of those things. It's like 75 different brands under one umbrella.
I've been hearing
that. They all seem to start like from, earlier days, generations passed down, their great grandfathers and, great, from their ancestors, right? Where they started small, maybe making a wallet or something of that nature. And then throughout the course of the years, it just expanded into something bigger, or somebody came in and, their vision they intertwined their vision into that person's vision, and the brands just expanded. But there's never been, or I don't know, and maybe I need to do more research. There's never been a huge message behind the brand. It's just based on popularity.
Popularity in history.
Well, of course, history, because if you look at it, the brand had to start somewhere, right? So the air just passes on, keeps, they're passing it down to the next era, to the next era. So there is that history in it, but it's different than how you express Impel forward, right? And why you started it and how you came up with that name, and the things that you went through, or things that you tried but didn't necessarily move forward, or you did it later on in life. You don't hear those backstories from larger brands.
Do you think we need to, as much as we support them?
I don't think it would matter.
At least to dig in and see why we support them so much.
I still don't think it would matter, because majority of people buy it based on status, popularity, right? No one says, I want to know the history of Hermes, even though they talk about it, right? They started off with smaller leather goods, and it kind of grew. And Louis Vuitton started off with luggage, and, it kind of grew into a lot more things. But popularity is always going to outweigh the history.
Right. So what? Let me see. I'm gonna look this up. We're doing this in real time, y'all.
So would it matter to you?
Would it matter?
You're not into clothes though, but let me ask you, would it matter to you?
No, I'm just curious. I just always see. I'm gonna tell you, like polos. Everybody, so I've never been like people polo this. Oh, he got a polo. I'm going to polo. I'm like,
polo.
I was wondering, like, what's so exciting about buying a polo?
Polo has so many layers. I remember I used to have a friend. He's from New York. So polo has a long outstanding history with African Americans. There's and I remember my homeboy telling me, shout out to
Khalid, on me.
Have a secret society, a polo secret society. I think it started in New York somewhere, where polo knows about this society. I forgot the name, and I don't want to butcher it because I don't want nobody coming after my head. Where they know a lot of different, Black people support the Ralph Lauren brand, and they make exclusive gear tours for them, and it's been around for years. Like it, in the Hip Hop Brooklyn Society, it's a whole thing. He was telling me about it, but I can't remember. But he, exclusively wears Ralph Lauren polo because
I understand the quality and how things feel and all that. I get that part. But it's like this is the way I look at it. I can go get just a regular collared shirt. Someone else can have it on polo with the little polo man and his horse right here. It doesn't really, to me, like I say, it's more about the name polo, the history of polo. But I can get a collared shirt, and that man can get a polo collared shirt, which they do call collared shirt with no name polo style, and look just as good as the next man with a polo shirt on. But it might not be polo. What makes it so what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I just be wondering because I ain't never been.
There's a lot of history around it, around
yeah.
polo.
But let me read this right here. It said the logo is meant to evoke a sense of timeless, classic style and preppy, affluent lifestyle, and has become one of the most recognizable fashion logos in the world.
I would agree with that. I think they have done that very well. When you think of preppy, you do think of polo.
Right.
You know, that's just kind of what it is.
With no real meaning behind it. Which it don't really matter.
I feel like you're wanting something that they're just clearly not having, which is a true meaning behind the brand, and they're showcasing you what their version, what the brand is to them. It's just a preppy, all American brand that they've curated through a host of many things.
I guess
there's no meaning behind it.
Kind of, sort of, but mainly is the fact that why we as Black people. Or people, period. I ain't gonna say Black, but I can't say Black because most Black people, like you said,
because
like
it's popular. It's popular, right? Okay. I think so. There's no deep meaning connected to it, such as Impel Forward. Of course, there's not. You're gonna have to look at a smaller brands. I mean, FUBU and all of them, they have meaning, right? They have something that tied into the brand.
It's like more Blacks. We have meaning behind our brands,
right? Because the Caucasian brands don't have to, because you're going to buy it anyway. They don't care.
That's kind of the point I'm making. Doggone it! Why we just go buy it anyway from them?
Because people don't care about a meaning.
Well,
they just don't, or the history. Smaller white brands have history behind it. You just gotta. You're just not as popular.
I believe some of them have. Some of these brands have. But not for a lot. For the most part, different ones I looked up and looked at, they really have no. It was one I looked. Let me see. It was one I looked up. They said that's actually what they said. They don't have a really good meaning.
They have I think like Louis Vuitton and all. They have meaning. But I think it's based on their, I think it's based on the item or who is actually the creative designer at that time. Like Pharrell, right? Pharrell is the creative designer for Louis Vuitton. And I believe Tiffany.
Design.
Yeah.
I'm talking about not even as far as being a designer, but a message with it.
I know. I'm saying, I'm driving to that point. I'm saying there's a message behind the. So when a creative designer creates something for that brand, there is purpose and meaning behind it. And that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get it. What's the meaning behind Louis Vuitton in general? No, the meaning is behind the creative designer at that time, because there is some form of meaning. How did you come up with it? What inspired you to do it? Did this come from your childhood or when you grew up, when you played football, or your grandmother really loved this shape of a bag? There's something behind that particular, I would say, item based on the creator, because they change designers all the time at these brands. And they curate these pieces based on something in their life or something that they love. So you're not going to get it from the overall brand, just from the designer.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. But even though if I was to say if they do change designers, you can change designers, but you still don't have no message behind their brand.
Not the brand itself. People don't. I mean,
but like you said, people don't care. They just okay.
People are gonna buy it because one is Pharrell, right? Like right now, Pharrell is hot. His runway show for Louis Vuitton in Paris was amazing. He told the story. He now is, evolving the brand to incorporate more people that look like us, and and other minorities within that brand. And he told a story. And now when you buy that piece, although it is extremely expensive, you have a story to tell behind that piece. So it's a little bit different. It depends. But there's also smaller designers that are just as good. There's, Hanifa out of DC. There's Fee Noel out of, Brooklyn. These are smaller Black-owned designers that are in, Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue and all of the higher end stores that have meaning. They're, either Caribbean born, such as, Finoel or Hanifa. Like I said, she's from DC. There's meaning behind all of these, designers that we just don't talk about because they're not popular amongst I would say, the inner community of Black people.
Not popular or don't have the history.
Or just don't know about it. If you're looking at, Hanifa or, Finoel, Christopher John Rogers, those type of designers, you have to know the history or the design. You have to love fashion to understand it. You know what I mean? But they're just as expensive. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, they come with a price just like the bigger name brands.
Do you know the message behind Adidas?
What's the message behind Adidas?
To be the best sports brand in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody trying to do that.
Right. So is that too basic enough? It's not deep enough?
I ain't gonna say deep. It just I don't know. I ain't gonna say deep. It just I would think. So when I started looking a lot of this stuff up, I thought personally that most of them would have real good messages behind their brands.
Mm-hmm.
But to my surprise, they didn't. So I was just curious. Something I wanted to
They don't need it. I mean, Nike showcased their struggle behind their brand and how they really got on the map through Michael Jordan, right? Through that movie, the Michael Jordan movie. What was it, Air Jordan or something?
I don't know.
You didn't get a chance. It was really good, and they showcased how they eventually got him to come on and how they designed the shoe, and it really put them on the map, right?
Like Nike is kind of different now with the just do it and the check mark. It's like, check this off. I guess that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm thinking.
But that's just as basic as, to be the biggest.
No, that's a little different. Like you make a list of something, right? Oh, I got to do this today. I got to do this.
You check it off the list.
I did it. Just do it. That's what I'm looking at. I don't know. That look different.
I don't know. It just really depends. Like I said, the bigger brands don't need it.
Yeah, they don't.
That's just like the whole thing of, that whole lie of, Tommy Hilfiger and he was racist and all that other stuff. Let's be honest, it didn't keep people from buying it.
No, I ain't never been in Tommy Hilfiger. I've never really been big into any of those.
You're not big into nothing outside of Express? What's the meaning behind Express?
Oh, you know what? That's a good. Hey, that's a good question because that's a store I support. I buy
exactly. You don't even know.
I don't.
What umbrella are they under?
I didn't look it up. And you know why I didn't look it up?
Why?
Because a lot of people don't support them like that. I'm looking at the top companies that people mainly they got to throw be flashy with, which is Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Nike. Nike is just Nike, but I'm talking about the bigger brands. Express people ain't gonna really going in Express. But
I like Express.
They do, but you don't hear people talking about I'm going to Express. I got to get this hot.
I would. I think Express has some. They've grown and they've gotten some nice pieces, but if I'm going to the mall, there's only a few stores I'm going. Well, South Point don't got too much anyway. I'm gonna go to, of course, Nordstrom, right? I'm gonna go to H&M because they're trendy and they're always copying off some other, more expensive brand, but you're gonna find something.
Right.
I'm a Banana Republic girl, even though I probably don't look like it, but I love Banana Republic. Like, I really wish I can just encapsulate them fully into my daily wardrobe, but Banana Republic a little expensive.
I'm looking at the message. I guess it's a message.
What is it?
Fashion. Hey, did they? Oh, I had that kind of like a title before we switched the title. Well, fashion forward, apparel brand and style community whose purpose is to create confidence and inspire self-expression.
Okay. So is that deep enough for you to continue to shop with them?
Yes. They got a little something. Yes.
Ivy.
Yeah, I like the deepness in that.
That's why you support him. You knew it was something.
I really didn't, but hey, they surprised me with that one. But to look at a brand and they say there's really nothing behind it, I'm like, really? I forgot which one. I gotta find it. I'm gonna keep doing my research. But yeah.
But as we, look geared towards nothing really behind it, in other world news, 'tis the season.
Tis the season.
Tis the season. Politics. It's time.
Oh,
right?
Lord. What about it? Who we talking
about? Weird because every 4 years it gives me a reason to remove people off my friends list.
Are you talking about real friends?
Or I don't even know if they're real friends. Maybe some real friends, some coworkers, some anybody. Well, every 4 years when it's time to vote.
You shouldn't let politics come between you and your friends.
I let politics come between because I remember somebody posted something. And I remember this post. And I remember, and it rang true to me in so many reasons. Somebody posted it. It was, trust me, I totally understand you voting and supporting Trump. Many assholes do, right? It doesn't mean you're a racist like him, but it does mean racism is not a deal breaker for you. You get what I'm saying?
Say that one more time. I was messing with my chair.
The post was, trust me, I totally understand you voting for and supporting Trump. Many assholes do. It doesn't mean you are a racist like him, but it does mean racism is not a deal breaker for you. Okay. So when you ask me why, would I remove people from my friends list because of that, that rang so true to me. Like, that's not a deal breaker for you? Then are we really friends? Or am I the one that's being genuine? Because I accept you for who you are. I met you where you are.
Now, who was that you was reading? Somebody said it to you, or you said it to somebody?
Somebody posted that on Facebook on my timeline, and I was like, wow, because I've worked with people, I've dealt with people who really, really love Trump. Like, and they'll say, oh, I made a lot more money when he was around. The stocks were whatever they were where he assumed.
Are you talking about black people?
Black people, white people, whomever. You know what I mean? I've seen them and heard from them. And then, I see his rhetoric all over. And it's almost like, are you listening to what I'm saying? Like, the whole immunity to police officers. That means whatever happened to George Floyd, in which you were speaking up, and most people who were speaking up about it and online and all for it, means nothing to you. It was just trendy. Because now you're voting for a man who would not have held that man accountable for killing George Floyd and all of the other Black people and, Breonna Taylor's and all. That means they would get full immunity and they can just do whatever.
Right.
So was it trendy for you you really didn't care how they treated George Floyd and many others? Because now you're voting for a man who's saying people make mistakes. That's what he said about the officer with Sonia Massey. Oh, it was a mistake. Was it? Because he has a history of anger.
He said it was a mistake. Trump said it?
Yeah. He said it was a mistake. Oh, people make mistakes.
Wow. So I was looking at social media today, and I seen two people going back and forth, and they were Black. And similar to what you were saying, one person was saying, what policies are Kamala actually trying to get done for us as Blacks, or what are her? They're saying basically. Wait. They're saying basically she's not talking about policies. She's just talking.
I think she is talking about policies because she's undoing what was done while while Biden was in office, in which, the House is full Republican, right? So they can pass bills or say no to bills. So Roe versus Wade, right? They were able to overturn that because there's more Republicans in the Senate than there is Democrats, right? So I feel like, and this is my opinion, and people probably gonna kill me, black men, but it is what it is. I feel like black men don't care for Kamala because her policies and what she's speaking on has to do with women's rights. And she's not explicitly saying, oh, well, I'm going to ensure all the black people are getting out of jail. No president has ever promised, I'm going to do this for the black people. I'm going to do this. Biden didn't even say that. He talked about student loans.
Why can't they say that? What they're going to do specifically?
A president is supposed to be a bipartisan to everyone.
Supposed to be.
They are supposed to. Reproductive rights don't just affect black people or white people.
Wait a minute. But no, you said, wait, you specifically talking about reproductive. I'm talking about why can't. I'm going back to the statement when you said why can't.
Because here's the thing:
black persons.
Obama made that comment about what was his name? What was the young man's name? Was it Trayvon?
Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon Martin. If you remember. Tavon, I'm bad with names. Trayvon Martin, when he said that could have been my son.
I remember that.
Remember, he made a speech and he was like, that could have been my son. That could have been somebody's brother. If you notice, his popularity among white people shot down immediately. You just asked how come something can be explicit just for black people. He made that one comment. He was still president. He made that one comment. And now all of a sudden he was a racist after that because he said that young boy could have been my son.
Once again, so what?
What does as the president you can't be as a president of the United States, right? You have to be unbiased. Of course, you show bias. I mean, Trump did it throughout his years, right? But I feel like people want. They like that type of president that's just going to go on above and beyond. But really, he didn't. I mean, he pardoned a couple people from out of jail. He really didn't do nothing. Obama gave him the key, a turnkey, while he was on Mar-a-Lago playing golf.
But I'm still stuck on the part. Why? And I had this conversation with a couple of people. Why can't? So we talking about we want black people in power that can make a change. Mm-hmm. That's what stand for the black people. Wait a minute.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
But we also say, well, they can't get up there and say this is only for black people. Why not? If that's what we want black people in power that's going to fight for blacks. Why can't we say, why can't they say, look, we doing this. I'm doing this for
because their votes come from more than just black people. To get them in the office, it comes from more than just black people. How are you gonna? You need to be able to appease all of the masses and get votes from everybody.
I understand that part. Then, so once you get in there, why you still can't say nothing?
Because you make a promise to uphold your values and the law to the United States, not to just black people.
I don't know. That's even with
I think that would be unfair. I think it would be unfair to just say, I'm going to create this law. Now, can you do things that are beneficial to black people? Yes. But also there's other nationalities. You got to do something for it's almost like quid pro quo. I do something for you. You do something for me. Now I got to do something for them, and you do something for me. You know what I mean? It's a very hard job. How come more black people aren't in politics? They want change, but they don't want to do anything about it. You rarely see a lot of black people voting within their states. You don't see them at committees when they're, people are like, how come marijuana, isn't legal in North Carolina? Well, were you there? And when people were voting, when they had a discussion on it at the committee meetings, you know who was there? Older church people.
What, saying no?
Yes. Probably 3 Black people. So it's hard to want change when you're not in the weeds. Just like when you asked me, how come you're on the HOA and you're okay with it? I wanted to see change, and the only way that I can invoke change is to join them.
But what do you say? You said why most Black people ain't into politics?
They don't want to do anything. There's volunteer programs that you can get into within the state that you're in that directly affects how you are. You know, people don't want to join. You know, the police department is always hiring. Always. They want people bad. Nobody wants to join the police. Nobody wants to join the FBI. Nobody wants to join the CIA.
I know policemen that don't want to be a police.
Of course. I mean, but they decided to do it, right? At some point, something made a decision for them to do it. You want to invoke change in the, in the prisons? Be a prison guard. You don't want to do that. I don't want them talking to me reckless. I'm gonna end up being where they at. That's what you hear, or they don't pay enough for me. It's always something. It's like with Black people, we not only are we our biggest critics, but the needle is always moving for us because it seems like nothing is always good enough.
I guess, but I'm still like, say okay. Man, a couple years ago when was it Trump and when Trump was first running, and Ice Cube had that petition he was trying to put together and trying to get one of the candidates to both sides to say what they was gonna do for Blacks.
And a lot of people do it,
huh?
You can't even get Mark Robinson to say something with his old Mr. Potato Head looking self.
So tell me this about reparations. Mm-hmm. You don't think Kamala Harris can say we as Blacks deserve reparations right now? You don't think?
I think that would be hard because I think she would say I think she would make a general, because there are other nationalities and of people that deserve reparations as well, right?
And a lot of them have gotten them.
And so has some Black people have gotten some. Let's be honest, they've gotten their land and stuff back. Let's be honest. I think there was something most recent. Wasn't there something most recent where people
was it California or something? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's not happening, but in California, that was their state, right? Was that Governor Newton who agreed to that?
I don't know, probably.
Yeah. So when you talk about reparations, right? Are you holding your state elected officials accountable for that as well? It's like the president can only do so much. At the end of the day, it still has to pass Congress, has to pass the Senate, and then your state has to initiate it. So why aren't people doing that?
That's what people always say. The president can only do so.
I believe they only get a few vetoes per year, and they have to use it wisely. I think I learned that in law school. I think you only get a couple of vetoes per year, but we got to hold our state legislators accountable.
You went to law school?
I have a degree in social and criminal justice. I just ended up working for a bank.
Wait a minute. That's another thing. So switching subjects. You had student loans, right?
I do.
So you went to law school, end up working for a
bank.
bank.
Paid throughout all of my journeys of school. I paid out of pocket because I was still working full time.
But you still got student loans?
I have some student loans because so financial aid will only cover so much based on your income. So all throughout my journey of college, I made more than, allotted because I didn't have any kids or anything. And I was, working full time. So let's just say for your that semester, it would be $10,000. They would say, okay, you're working because you have to provide your taxes and how much you make. They'll say, okay, financial aid, you can borrow or we'll give you 7,000. If I want to continue to go to school, you got to pay the remaining, 3,000. So I would make monthly payments to cover, and then, pay the full balance that I owe. Like if it didn't cover after I graduated, or, whatever, I had to pay that balance that I owed out of pocket that financial aid didn't cover.
So my question is this. With everybody up in arms about student loans, they want to bite in the past this thing where everybody gets.
I wouldn't mind, that little 20,000 knocked off.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Everybody want him to pass his law, whatever, sign some bill to wipe out the student loan debt, right? I know some people who have had it wiped away.
Oh yeah, I know a few people.
Would you, or anybody's listening, people that have kids that's coming out of high school, if you as a parent, or if you're not a parent, you just know people that have student loan debt, why would you want your kids coming out of high school to have that same debt that everybody's fighting to have wiped away? Now, I understand like doctors, lawyers.
We need those people, right? You got to.
I'm saying, I understand doctors, lawyers, scientists, or mathematicians, or maybe whatever.
Trade schools cost too, right?
No, but listen. But I understand getting student loans for the doctors and all that, But a lot of these kids that's go to college that ain't doing a lot of that. Why would you want them to go in all that debt to go to school for business? Go to school for marketing.
I think here's the thing. There's a couple things that my friend went to school. She has her, master's in marketing, and sis makes great money, and she works for Microsoft. So there is something into that. I couldn't go, not everybody can go in that position that she came into without having some sort of degree and experience to understand the business, right? But I think college is more for also understanding being on your own, independence, learning how to navigate without your parents being around, especially if you're going off campus, right? I mean, onto campus or off campus, whatever, but you're away from home. I think it teaches you social skills, great social skills. You gain a family and community. Also, in addition to you learn, I guess, for the particular, you're going in mind for a particular job, right? Everybody's goal is you finish school, you want to get a job in that area. You may not know fully everything, but you learn, I would say you have an understanding of the acronyms behind it. So you're not fully blind when you're going into that job. Or also that skill may be transferable to somewhere else.
But you can do all that stuff now.
Now, here's
all that stuff you just said ain't worth getting.
I don't think so.
$100,000 worth of debt.
I don't think so. Not everybody accumulates hundreds of $1,000s worth of debt for college. Sometimes it could be $45,000.
That's still a lot for kids that don't have nothing. They go to school and they get out and they might not find a job.
That's everywhere. You might not find a job, not having a degree, but I think it opens the door for the conversation. It's up to you to seal it.
But you won't have that debt though.
I mean, it. Here's the thing.
What's the highest debt you know of? Somebody having school debt.
Oh, school loans, maybe 200-something thousand.
Yeah, I've heard that's about the highest I've heard of.
Like attorney, but also a lot of times people have hundreds and hundreds. It depends on the degree you're looking at, right? If you want to be a doctor, of course, because you're going for a long time, the journey is longer. Attorneys, the journey may be a little bit longer because you have, you finish school, you get your bachelor's, then you have to go and get your doctorate, whatever. So you're going additional years. Also, remember, some people may not pass. So they're taking additional classes because they failed there. Some people may not take the full, they may not get to that 4 years and be done. Sometimes it takes them 5 years, or they switch their major. So now they've extended their livelihood, which is more money. So it just really depends. It really depends. Or you can fast track.
You said, or you can fast track?
I fast track, yes. But where you're, me going to school online, right, is more of a fast track program because they're squeezing 4 years in 2. So you're doing more work than the average.
So you went to law school for law?
I went for social and criminal justice.
So did you ever do anything in it?
I do it now. So I manage a contested litigation and mediation department. So I may not be an attorney, but I manage them.
Okay.
And I'll write the firm up. The way representing my company, right?
But the way you said you went to school for law, but you work at a bank, was like you went to school for law, but you're not working for law. So
I was able to transfer those skills, especially here for some of my friends, and they're like, you getting out and you're not making, the amount of money that, of course, the world would assume that you would make once you're an attorney. Being an attorney is very hard. You got to not only understand the law and fight cases, but you got to be a salesperson too. You got to bring the business to the firm. That's how people make partner, right? So you got to have billable hours and all of those things. When, I figured it out, it's like, oh, I can make, maybe not as much as a managing attorney, but I can make very good money in a different way, but still enjoy what I love, which is the law. I was like, oh, say less.
So let me ask you this question. Because I really don't. I hear what you're saying, what you do, but for other people, I ask this question also. The job that you do for your company, do you think you can build or start something yourself, running your own business with the things you do there, or that don't? For what you do is not probably.
It's a possibility, and there's a lot of companies that kind of do what I do, and they do charge, but it depends on. They're not supposed to, right? It's supposed to be helping for the greater good. That at the end of the day. So is there money into it? Yeah. Would I want to start my own? No. Not at all. Because it's just, I don't know. You look very scammy when you do it. So it's not just something that I would do. Now, if someone came to me, one of my neighbors, and they were like, can you help me get out? I'm currently suffering a hardship and I'm possibly facing foreclosure. Yeah, I'll, probably tell you give you some general information, some advice generally. Not speaking from somebody who is in the business, but just in general, I would give them that. But,
So you would consider yourself, how people always give a disclaimer, or I'm not a financial advisor. You don't have to give that. You know what you're talking about.
I'm going to give a disclaimer, and I'm going to talk in general. I'm going to speak in general because,
right.
I don't, the conflict of interest. No, I'm not going to let somebody who ain't got no money stop my bag.
Right.
That's just what it is.
We can't have that.
No, that's like you. Like, would you want someone who doesn't have the experience come in and tell you how to cut somebody's hair? I think you should do it that way. Standing over you. Why you edge that person like that? I think you should do it this way.
Yeah, don't get in those conversations.
Or would you say I have many years and I went to school for this?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What I say is, do you want me to cut it, or you want to cut
it? Right. Or did you pass the state exam to be able to do this?
Right. Not some people can cut.
Yeah.
Just without going to school, they just need the paperwork. So
yeah.
But for the most part, no.
That's just like somebody's schooling. It just costs you less.
Right.
So what would be any different? They chose to go the more expensive route. What's the difference?
Wait a minute. No, what you mean? No, they still
be in your business.
No, they still. They still got to go to school. They can't cut hair in the barbershop.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying, well, why would somebody want to accumulate why would you want your kid to accumulate thousands of dollars in student loans, right? Mm-hmm. For a job that they may not get or may not do, or they may not make as much money. Speaking of teachers, right? You still got to go to, there's some learning behind it, no matter what.
But no, see,
the pay is different. The pay is different. We need barbers and hairstylists, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to school. They're taking a cheaper route than somebody who was going to school to be a nurse or a business person. Maybe they just want to learn the acronym. What are most like rappers and all of them are saying when they get in trouble? I didn't understand the contract.
Not when they get in trouble, when they just get beat out of their money. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, when they get beat out of their money or a contract, right? They want to get out of a contract. And what's the first thing they say? I didn't understand the contract. If you went to school for business, or even if you did the certificate program, you would at least know the basics and what to look out for.
Not necessarily. They can just get somebody to read over if they didn't understand it. They didn't have to go to school for it.
I don't want anybody to read over something. I want to be able to understand it too. Now, will I get you to sign off on it? An attorney, yes, but I still want to know and fully, because they could be lying and all working together too.
No, you can get somebody, sit down, get you a lawyer, read this, explain this. These days, well,
I'm going to tell you a story, and I'm not going to. And I probably need to put my friend on here when you say get a lawyer.
Go ahead.
My friend, I'm not going to say anything, but this person sold their business, right? Mm-hmm. Say you're selling a business, and they found a great attorney, and this attorney was, I'm gonna do everything for you. I'm gonna do everything. I got it. Wrote up the contract. I'm here to protect you and everything. No, she didn't understand it. She put all her trust in this attorney, and guess what's happening now? Suing the attorney who wrote the contract.
Still, she didn't take the initiative to, even though she gave it to the attorney to do whatever, she probably, I guarantee she didn't go look what the contract said or what the attorney did.
She did. Top agency, managing partner at a firm.
She didn't ask enough questions.
What I'm saying is, a lot of times attorneys don't even know what they're doing, because a lot of times they accept things because they want money, but that's not their specialty. That's not their field of work. So when you say, well, have the attorney break it down and do all of this, they're just going off of their interpretation. It may not even be right, but you're trusting them to do it.
That's on that person. If you go with some, I don't.
So before you bought your house, did you have an understanding of your HUD and settlement agreement and amortization schedule? Did you have some form of understanding before you went in and signed those docs? Did you do your homework?
Not necessarily, but that's something different. That's still different.
You're signing a contract.
You're still supposed to understand all that. Yeah, but still, if you read it and ask questions, they would tell you, and all you gotta do is look it up.
I can tell you something in your mortgage contract that you probably don't even understand, and they probably never even told you about it.
Tell me off camera.
That most people don't even look at it. First thing I'm gonna tell you that most people don't look at it. I'm not gonna tell you anymore because I speak in general. You know how I do.
Yeah.
People don't even understand. One of the papers that you sign in there tells you how often, the percentage of how many times your loan is going to be sold, meaning that it's going to transfer to another company.
Seems like I've heard something about that.
And they don't even read it. And then they complain, well, my loan I was with Chase on Monday and now I'm with Wells Fargo on Thursday. You signed off on that.
That I didn't know. It seemed like I heard that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. And people don't know it. That's one of the piece of papers, and it's all by itself.
How many of y'all know that? Put a like in the chat. Say something in the chat if you knew about that.
But moving forward into understanding contracts and everything, social media.
What about social media?
There's just so much going on.
It's always something going on in social media. It's always something going on social media. you mean?
Well,
So
I just feel like we need a break. We need a break.
You gotta put your phone down. Just don't look at it. That's one thing. That's one thing good for me. So in the bar, when I'm cutting hair, I'm at the barbershop. I see a little bit here and there, but a lot I don't see. And when I get home, I may look at it here and there, but I'm really not like just. I'll scroll a little bit, but not too much.
What's your favorite site out of all of the social medias? What's the one you tend to like more than others?
IG.
Really?
Well,
to me, IG is the most toxic.
Well, it depends on what you're looking for and what you're looking at.
That's very true.
So that's what anything. So with me, I'm looking. Man, I don't know. I mean, YouTube. YouTube is number one. I'm mainly on YouTube, looking at something about podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm all about learning.
You are Aquarius through and through.
Yeah, so I always feel like I'm so behind, but people say I'm right on time, but I guess I'm right on time where I'm at. But anyway, so I'm always trying to learn and get better at a lot of things I do as far as podcasting. I'm listening to Shannon Sharp. I'm listening to good people who speak, who ask questions, trying to get better, and trying still to be myself and not talk so proper.
Yeah, I think it's good. You're honing in on your passion and your dreams.
Right. Yeah.
So, and that's really, really good.
Yeah. So YouTube is number one. I do a lot of. Yeah. Then Instagram. Yeah. Right.
What's your favorite page to follow on Instagram? Tell the people.
My favorite page to follow on Instagram? Fashion pages, clothing designs, fashion brands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite brand outside of your own?
I can't say because I'll be pushing people to them. That's something I learned from a mastermind I was in. Like you can love other people's brands, support them, but don't talk too much about them or push people to them.
Okay. So that's understandable. I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be watching different brands, trying to get creative and learn different designs, and just do different things, get some ideas, and come up with some myself.
Yeah.
Speaking of, no, I ain't.
That was gonna be my next question, but we'll leave it alone.
Yeah.
What we talked about in the shop. When was I in your shop? Tuesday? Wednesday? When did I get my haircut?
Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah, took off.
People don't understand, even though I'll be wearing your logo, because I always feel like you should represent your brand no matter what. People just don't understand I'm a ball baddie.
Yeah. And see, that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to build up the way I can every day I have on my brand. And
I don't understand why you don't. You should say you do more t-shirts for your shop. I mean, for you to wear.
Yeah. I know that. Look, so you be on the same page as me. I've been thinking about that. So
that's where we family. Also, you should be having Impel for a podcast playing all the time.
You know why I don't?
Why?
Because I tell people about it, and I want them to go and look at it themselves.
Yes, you want them to go, but while they're getting their haircut, they're only getting a short clip of it, right?
You're right. Yeah.
And then they're gonna want to get home and they're gonna want to finish, especially if it's it's interesting. Because we good people. People like to be around us.
I played Mr. Brown's episode the other day. I actually got him somebody emailed him.
Oh, really?
Do some lessons. Yeah, I think next week.
Oh, that's cool. We got to go there. I think also we need to do more events.
That's what I was going to talk to you about too, but we'll talk offline.
Yeah.
Got something I'm going to do.
Show up in more events, support more people in the community.
Yeah.
And get your brand out there as it should, but
definitely got to get started on that.
Yeah.
What was your thing though about social media? What was you looking at that was anything specific that you were looking at that had you up in arms?
Not necessarily up in arms, you know what I mean? I just feel like it's just so much.
Okay, I got something for you. I asked somebody the other day, I told somebody, my mental, speaking of politics, my mental can't take that.
Your mental can't take politics, or your mental can't take the back and forth.
All that, yeah. The back and forth, people.
And that's very important, because you need to protect your mental peace, but also don't forget that this is something serious that we need to make sure that everybody votes and you vote. So at some point in time, you're going to have to understand, because, you know, all folk, you know.
As of late, I've been paying attention, trying to pay attention to politics and people.
And you pick what's best for you.
Yeah. So originally, I didn't vote until Obama ran for president.
Really? Why? When it's such a, it's you being a black man, and a black man that was incarcerated at one point in time, and now you have the freedoms and the liberties to do so.
That's what I'm about to tell you. So I got when I got out of prison at 24. I was told that I couldn't vote because I was a felon. And so I never thought about voting, never paid attention to politics until I was in my mid-30s. And well, not because I was in my mid-30s, it just I still wasn't gonna vote until one of my customers came in. He was like, "Man, you vote? You know how people try to get you signed up to vote, this and that. That's what he do." I'm like, "Man, I can't vote." I said, "I'm a felon." He's like, "Nah, yeah, you can." And then he started asking me questions: how long I've been home, am I off parole, this and that. So that's when I finally learned that I can vote. But even then, the only reason I voted for Obama because he was black.
You can't do that.
But I didn't know nobody.
But that's what I'm saying. When you're like, my mental can't take it. I don't want. There's a lot of people like you, and I don't want you to feel that. Oh, well, this name sound black. I remember even doing it. I was like, it was a name, but it sound black. Long and behold, it wasn't even a black person.
No, I mean I knew he was black, but I'm just saying.
Right, I understand that, but some people don't know it. Like Tim Scott. Showboating and all that, you know what I mean? It's just, you really gotta take some time to kind of block everybody out and just read everybody's bio and their political views and see if it aligns with your values, for you being a black man. And I say that because the system wasn't built for you guys to be in this position to do so.
Yeah, I'm trying to pay attention more, but I'm telling. Look, when I say my mental can't take it, I can't take it because I get ignorant. When listen to certain people, I can get ignorant.
Right. But I feel like that's okay though. I feel like it's okay, and I know you're very cautious about how you move, what you say, how you know what I mean. And I think that's where we share a lot of ways. I am too. You know what I mean? I'm always my friends. I'm funny and I'm wild, but I'm very cautious. You know, my Facebook, my social medias are very surface level. If you notice, you don't see me holding hands with somebody on the beach. You'll never see me posted up with a dude. If you notice that, like everything is very, very surface, because not necessarily that I have a brand, but I still have an image. And at the end of the day, I want to protect that. So I get that from you. You do the same.
It's not necessarily that you don't have a brand. I heard somebody say that everybody's a brand themselves.
That's smart. I guess I didn't ever think about it that way. Yeah. But
I heard somebody say which kind of makes sense.
What's so crazy is you asking about, social media and what I've been up to. And I forgot. My friend Lexi finished her last day of chemo last Tuesday.
That's when you can get your hair cut. Tuesday.
That's when I did, because remember I had left her. I left her thing to go get my haircut. Yeah, that was amazing. You know what I mean? For somebody who, ladies, get your mammograms, go get checked, and she was healthy as a lamb. She works out just as much as I do, just as much as you do, and does all her juicing from all the normal juice. She does everything, and then all of a sudden this happens. But she's healthy. She looks amazing. Anything can happen.
Yeah, that's the thing about health, food. You can look good on the outside. You don't know what's in the inside. No matter how much, no matter how much we do juicing,
all of that. That's what I'm saying. When people are like, "That is so bad for you,"
Yeah.
It's not stopping anything from attacking your body, no matter. I don't care how many beets you consume per day.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Celery, shots.
Yeah. I know somebody who was vegan, who's been vegan for a long time and got cancer. It can
At
be
this point, it's in the air.
pollution. It could be the pollution in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the stuff we use on our bodies.
Hereditary.
Hereditary. We don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
You got to enjoy life. That was one of the things. That was
That
my.
being said, it's still good to put good things in your body.
It is, and also I think early detection is key, right?
Right.
I think one thing that we all fight is, where it's like, oh, it's just a cold. You never really know. Not saying you have to go every single time because your doctor might think you're a hypochondriac, but
my doctor,
we gotta quit fighting pain and recognizing different things that are happening. Like if you're constantly getting a headache, maybe you should go get that checked out. It might, that might turn into an aneurysm or something. But we have to pay attention to our body and not brush it off to something small.
Right.
I go get checked all the time. I think my doctor, listen, Duke messaging system, I'm surprised she ain't blocked me, to be honest.
Hey, my doctor the same way. I done gave him about a year break. I told him, I said, yeah, this gonna be one black man. They can't say they didn't go to the doctor.
Exactly. I'm like, did you hear me? Because I'll break up with you real quick. Like it's not me, it's you. I'll run through a doctor real quick. If I don't feel heard, oh yeah. I'll go to that same doctor to somebody else and say hi on my way to the room. Hey girl, I don't care. We just didn't mesh.
Yeah.
Date your doctor.
I got 2 different doctors. I'm on that second opinion.
Always. I think that's always good. People don't think about that, but goes to show social media can be toxic, but it also can be very fulfilling because it's great to see my friend post and finally, tell everybody, the world, that she, finished chemo. She had, breast cancer, and she didn't tell everybody, just, people in the group chat.
Right.
So,
I ain't tell you, guess what I did last week?
What
finally got back into it. Toastmasters.
Oh, okay. You wait a minute. They have a Toastmasters, just a regular group, or where is it at?
It's on Hillsborough Road.
They offer that through my job. I've done Toastmasters a few times.
So I've done it when I was in prison in 96. But I finished it. But that was a long time ago.
Right.
So, even though I do talk to people every day with cutting hair, but I still need to get used to talking in front of people when I talk. So that's another thing. I think you heard me say this before, and I guess people who listen to me on this podcast can tell sometimes too.
What? You country?
Country. Sometimes I talk fast.
Sometimes
I mumble. So I'm trying to get into the practice of slowing down.
How many people are in Toastmasters?
The one I only went one night because they do it every other week. And I went, it's about maybe 20.
Really?
Yeah, maybe.
I didn't know. I honestly didn't even know they had that outside of the work environment, because I've only done it that way. Yeah. My first time going to a meeting, they had me do a prompt. I was like, wait a minute, I'm not even ready.
Yeah. Even though I didn't get the chance to get up and talk, I like what I was seeing and I like how they was doing it. They time you and give you feedback on what you could have did better and this. And I can't wait to get up there and just get the feel of it.
You gonna do it again? You gonna just officially join?
Oh yeah, I'm going. That's my intention. I've been trying to get there for months, but all the timing was bad. I had something to do on that Tuesday, so then you got to wait 2 more weeks. Then that week happened. I finally.
How much is Toastmasters?
Yeah, you need to get back into it.
How much is it?
How much is? I don't know. They said it was free, but then after I talked to the guy afterwards, he was like, "Send me an email." And
yeah, it's not free.
Something about a year. It was about a year. Yeah. I ain't looked at it yet. I got to look at it. But I'm doing it anyway.
If you notice, when I talk, I don't say I learned that from Toastmasters.
Yeah, they talk about all that. Yeah.
Yep.
If I said I'm gonna go back. I gotta go back and look and see if I said
Oh my goodness. I just
Yeah.
learned that a while. I don't say and yeah. I
Hey, Obama did it.
don't know.
Uh
Maybe
listen,
he should take Toastmasters.
a lot of people said he did that. He was thinking so he wouldn't say nothing wrong.
That I mean, most people do, right? They say
Yeah.
that so you not necessarily nothing wrong. It doesn't you don't say the wrong word, I guess.
Yeah, that too, I guess. Yeah, but
I
I
don't,
want to say my Toastmasters though, so
but
I
I
can't.
think that's amazing.
Yeah, I can't.
When are you gonna go see Mr. Brown and get on a horse? You're gonna
I don't
fight
know.
your fear?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on Monday.
Are you?
Yeah, I might can hit him up tomorrow. No, I ain't gonna hit him up. I ain't gonna go tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna have to be on a Monday. Yeah, when I'm off.
You should take Nico. Would she get on a horse?
I don't know. She might. My girls got on one. They've been on one before.
I know that, but I thought that would be a great date night, a great date suggestion.
I don't know. She might get on there.
While the weather is still good, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool. I'm thinking about doing it. I was like, maybe me and my girls, but I was thinking of something totally different because Mr. Brown, he's God fearing. They're very religious and in the church, and me and my girls was like, maybe we should go.
But he don't care nothing about that. You know.
No, I was thinking maybe we would go have drinks and then get on the horse or bring the drinks on the horse. That's what I'm saying.
No, don't do that. Go after you get on the horses. Yeah, don't do
It would
that.
have to be a day, but I'll work it out with him sober. We would go and maybe in the morning and then go do brunch or something in the evening. I think that'll be dope.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to say to the people?
No, I think this has been great. This is it's always good talking, just chatting.
Yeah, I didn't realize me and you can talk this long.
I know we don't even talk this long when you cutting my hair because I don't be wanting to talk to you.
Yeah, I know. Because you be having an attitude all the time. Hey, look, y'all should be having attitudes.
He be want to argue. I'm still a ball Betty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway.
But, yeah, it's been good. And y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Share this podcast, Impel Forward Podcast, which has a message. Impel.
Yes.
that was a slap in the face to the other brands that don't have a message behind them. But anyway. Hey, look, y'all remember the Impel Forward. Seize the opportunity to grasp your dreams. Stay tuned for another episode of the Impel Forward Podcast.